Good morning, Gulf of Mexico. This is meteorologist Ryan Fuchek with your Gulf of Mexico weather briefing for Tuesday, November 4th. Our focus continues to remain on Hurricane Eta in the Western Caribbean Sea and its potential impacts to the Gulf of Mexico in the coming days. As of the latest forecast guidance, this system is not forecast to directly impact the Gulf of Mexico over the next few days. However, it could bring elevated shower and thunderstorm activity as well as elevated winds and seas to the region this weekend. Otherwise, continued elevated northeast to easterly winds and moderate to rough seas will persist across the Gulf of Mexico into this weekend as high pressure ridging continues to interact with a stalled frontal boundary to the south of the region. As we take a look at Hurricane Eta, the system continues to track west-southwestwards, with deep convection surrounding Eta's cloud-filled eye feature and great upper-level outflow noted across the system as well. Eta is forecast to make landfall within the next several hours just south of Puerto Cabezas as a strong Category 4 hurricane. As this occurs, Eta will continue to bring catastrophic impacts to portions of Central America today as the system continues inland. Taking a look at Eta's track over the next few days, Eta will continue to track west to west-southwestwards over the next day or so into Central America while quickly weakening. After this time frame, Eta's track becomes low confidence. Current forecast guidance does suggest Eta will rapidly weaken after landfall and may become a remnant low over Central America. However, these remnants may then track north and eventually northeastwards, making their way back into the Western Caribbean by late this week. This will allow for Eta to possibly reorganize and then re-strengthen in the Western Caribbean. Regardless of the outcome, all interests in the area should continue to monitor Eta's progress in the coming days. Taking a look at the current conditions across the Gulf of Mexico this morning, gentle to moderate east and northeasterly winds can be found across the far northern Gulf of Mexico as well as the western Gulf, with fresh to strong winds noted across portions of the south central and southeastern Gulf this morning. In addition to this, little in the way of any precipitation is ongoing as high pressure ridging is now firmly entrenched across the Gulf of Mexico. Looking at the marine advisories and warnings across the Gulf of Mexico and Bay of Campeche today, we do still have two marine advisories out in the western and central Gulf of Mexico that are set to expire at about noon today. We also do have a marine warning down in the Bay of Campeche, which is forecast to expire on Saturday, so we continue to expect updates on that. We do also expect some additional marine advisories or even potentially some watches out in the Gulf of Mexico as we do see some increased winds later in the forecast period as well. Looking at the weather across the Gulf of Mexico over the next 5 days, the cold front mentioned in yesterday's video is forecast to remain stalled over the far northwest Caribbean Sea and Bay of Campeche into this weekend, with strong high pressure ridging continuing to extend southwards across the Gulf of Mexico during this time frame as well. In addition to this, Hurricane Eta is forecast to slowly meander around Central America and the northwest Caribbean Sea in the coming days. This will not only bring widespread shower and thunderstorm activity to the far southern Gulf and Bay of Campeche over the next few days, but the interaction between the ridge of high pressure and the stalled front/Eta will continue to bring elevated east and northeasterly winds and seas to much of the area into this weekend as well. Looking at this afternoon's weather, widespread fresh to strong east and northeasterly winds will persist across the central and eastern Gulf, with shower and thunderstorm activity relegated to the Bay of Campeche near the aforementioned stalled frontal boundary. Across the western Gulf of Mexico, gentle to moderate east and northeasterly winds will persist. This will change little on Wednesday, with this stalled boundary remaining in place and high pressure ridging not moving much as well. Winds may briefly decrease on Thursday morning across the eastern and central Gulf to moderate to fresh speeds. However, the winds will once again increase by Thursday evening across the region back to fresh strong speeds, with an increase in shower and thunderstorm activity as well as Eta begins to near the far southern Gulf of Mexico and northwestern Caribbean Sea at this time, and begins to interact with the aforementioned ridge to the north, once again tightening the pressure gradient. Winds across the western Gulf will remain at gentle to moderate speeds during this time frame. These conditions across the western and central/eastern Gulf will continue to persist through Saturday, as Eta is still forecast to remain just south of the Gulf, but keeping that pressure gradient rather tight across much of the area during this time frame. With the elevated east and northeasterly winds in place across the central and eastern Gulf, near rough to rough seas will continue to persist across the southern Gulf of Mexico and portions of the Bay of Campeche today, with slight to moderate seas found further to the north. This will continue on into Wednesday and even on into Thursday, with rough seas potentially reaching the far southern Gulf lease blocks at this time. Moderate seas will continue to be found elsewhere across the region. Seas may lower down to moderate to near rough levels on Friday, but by Saturday, rough seas are forecast to return across portions of the eastern and central Gulf as winds increase once again with the approach of Eta.
Thank you for watching. For 24-hour meteorology support, you can reach us at marine@dtn.com. Have a great day.